Welcome to the People Behind Property podcast, brought to you by O'Brien Real Estate. In this series, we shine a light on the personal stories, career journeys, and expert insights shaping Australia's real estate market. Meet the agents, the industry leaders, and the voices behind the O'Brien network, because here it's personal. So let's dive into today's conversation. Today we're joined by Lucie, Olivier, Head of Property Management and Office Manager at O'Brien Real Estate in Mornington. With over 16 years in the industry, Lucie brings a calm, confidence, results-driven mindset and a deep passion for helping people. From early morning runs along the Mornington coastline to leading high-performing teams, Lucie's story is one of consistency, care and quiet leadership. Whether you're in real estate or simply love a good story of purpose and progress, you're in for a great conversation. So let's dive in and welcome Lucie.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for having
Thanks
me.
for me.
That sounded all very lovely about me. So
thank you. Yeah, no worries. No, it's great to have you here, and I have been watching you over the last 6 months or so, and
Yes.
you're a very impressive person. So it's great that you're here on the podcast. So
thank you.
why don't we jump in and we'll fire a few questions at you and
see how it goes.
Yeah. So let's start with I guess 16 years in real estate. What drew you over to real estate? What were you doing beforehand? And a bit about your background.
Yeah, look, I started in real estate when I was 18.
Yep.
I think I was, like a lot of people at that age, I was a little bit lost. I didn't know what I was doing. I had dropped out of school because school really wasn't for me.
Yep.
I had worked retail. So I just really wasn't confident in what way my life was going to go.
Yep.
The position came up at another local agency for a traineeship. And because I was trying numerous different things, I thought, let's give that a shot.
Yeah.
I dropped out of school early, and my parents said to me, you can drop out, however, you're not doing nothing, you've got to get a full-time job. So I kind of went and worked full-time at Brumby's, a local bakery that was down here, and thought that's not really for me. And then I worked at Rivers, the clothing store, and thought, well, that's not really for me either. It came up and thought, let's give that a go, and here we are 16 years later.
Been in it ever since.
Yes, been in it ever since.
And always property management, or?
Always property management, yes. I started as an assistant. I was an assistant for about 6 months, and then I was given a portfolio at the age of 18 with 6 months experience of 250 properties.
That's big.
And said good luck. I think that's how it was back then in the industry.
Yep.
It's not like that anymore. But yes, it was quite an eye-opening experience.
250,
it was a lot. Yes, it was definitely a lot. But it's probably one of the best learning curves that I did have.
Yep.
Because you are thrown in the deep end, and yes, things were different back then. It was definitely a great learning experience. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Was it always your calling to be in property management? Like at any point have you thought, I want to be in other streams of real estate? I mean, obviously you're now office manager here as well.
Yes, I am. Yes.
But was still your heart's kind of still with PM?
I think my heart is PM because I think property management isn't about property.
Yep.
It really is about clients, and I love having those relationships with my clients.
Yep.
It's not just my rental providers, it's renters as well, it's your trades, it's everybody you deal with in regards to your business partners and things like that. You are more relationship based, which is what I really love. Some of my clients I have had for 15 years, so they have followed me across through agency to agency.
Yep.
And I've seen the changes in their families. I've seen them get married. Unfortunately, I've seen partners pass away. I've seen all their different hardships and things, all their joys as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, they've been with me for so long that it's that relationship and that nurturing of the relationship that I really love about property management.
Yeah, definitely. And
yes.
I mean, I'm probably a bit off topic here, but with the industry and the laws and all of that changing, it hasn't got any easier.
Definitely not.
No. So how do you kind of manage that as an overlay across it all?
Yes.
Because clients, you have to sometimes have difficult conversations with clients over Residential Tenancies Act and all the extra money they've got to spend.
Yes.
It's pretty tough.
I think it is tough, but I think if you take the time to create those relationships, it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah.
You have someone who's trusting you with probably one of their biggest assets, if
That's
not
right.
their biggest asset.
Yeah.
A lot of our investors down here are mum and dad investors. They've worked their life to try and get ahead. It might be getting ahead for themselves or getting ahead for their kids. So we're building those relationships relationships, and then just educating them along the way. Like we had in 2021 130 legislation changes in property management. We have another about 10 coming in November this year, and they've just passed another 8 to 10 that are happening in 2027. And it's educating those clients now. We've already been educating our clients for the ones that are changing this year, and we're educating our clients for the ones that are coming in 2027, so that they can budget for it. The ones in 2027
because they don't want the fines, do they?
Correct. It's costs, and it's having to budget for those changes. There's a couple of them are big changes that are coming in, so having to change across from gas to electric when the appliances,
that's massive, isn't it?
when they die. So even working with them now to start thinking ahead, so being very proactive in saying, all right, well, this legislation hasn't passed now, but let's kind of look at updating your property now. If a hot water service goes in the next 2 years, let's start transitioning it across to electric. Also knowing what government rebates and things like that are available and important as well, so that when you are speaking to the clients, you can help them in all aspects of it.
You can help them try and save some money.
Yes, but going back to your question a little bit, sorry, I got off track there.
No, that's right,
It's building those relationships so that they do trust you when you have to have those hard conversations, and also to just doing what you say you're going to do. Like if I say to them, I'll do it by the end of the day, or I'll come to you with that information today, making sure you actually do it, because that builds that trust with them as well.
Definitely. What would be some of the pivotal moments in your career that have helped kind of shape your leadership style? Because you are a leader. Like wherever you kind of, the way you carry yourself, you certainly have become that. Like what would you say some of those moments have been?
Look, I don't think I have exact moments. I feel that I have kind of always...
And you're a leader at home, aren't you? I mean, you're a mum as well, so,
I'm a dog mum, yes. The dog mum that I will be, yes. We can go into family a little later, but yes, at this stage I am a dog mum. That'll probably just be where we stay, but I've done enough on the other side of it.
Yes.
But yeah, look, we did a merger. So we had 3 agencies merged back in 2019. So we had Kane's agency of Conley Love. I was at Ray White at that time, and the O'Brien office. We did a big merge. So 3 businesses coming into one was quite a large thing to happen, especially for any agency, but definitely down here in Mornington.
It sounds like, was that somewhere where you had to step up?
Correct, yes. So that's kind of when I really stepped up into that leadership a little bit more. We didn't really have anyone looking after the department. We had 3 different offices of property managers trying to come together. That can be very hard in itself. So working with everybody, and then it was kind of people just coming to me to ask questions and all that. So I kind of just stepped up into that position, and then it's just kind of happened naturally over that time. I think with the level of experience I bring as well.
Definitely.
It's just kind of happened naturally. Yes.
It certainly sounds like that particular moment, or merging and acquiring, that was probably a moment for you by the sound of it.
Yes, definitely. And we've had change in our business as well. And I'm very fortunate to have Kane as my director, because he allows me to step up, and he has really helped me with that as well. So I'm very fortunate to have
that's
him
awesome.
too.
You've got to have the right people around you and mentors to guide you through that. So that's great to hear.
Definitely.
How do you balance probably the operational side of being an office manager and also being people focused with the property management side of things? I assume you're not doing as much day-to-day PM. You've even got a portfolio as well, have you?
I do.
You do?
I'm mad. I've got a portfolio. Luckily, we've just hired Imogen to join our team, and she's working alongside me at the moment, which is fantastic. And she's going to take over my residential portfolio. So at this stage, I manage a residential portfolio, a commercial portfolio. I do our business development. I'm the head of our PM department and our office manager, and I do a trust accounting.
So you're not busy at all, are you?
No, not at all. No, this is why I go to the gym at 4:30.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, look, I think property management and leadership, I think they come hand in hand. Like property management, you're nurturing those relationships and you're building the relationships with their clients. So when you have to have a challenging conversation, it's a lot easier to have. You're bringing and growing someone's wealth and their investment portfolio. In management, I feel like it's very similar. So you're there to help and grow that person on where they want to go, not only in their career, but in their life as well. So it's helping them through that process too. So I think they are kind of hand in hand, building relationships with the people in your team like you would a client. And then so you can help both grow with where they're wanting to go.
Oh, definitely. It's a big responsibility. I think, really an asset manager in a lot of ways, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
No, that's really good. You've spoken a little bit about leadership, and you are hands-on. What does that look like probably day to day from your team, for your team?
Look, I think I am hands-on in the fact that I am always here for the team. If they need anything, they know that they can come to me. I always have my door open. So if someone needs something, they're knocking on the door, they're coming in kind of thing. They come in and vent if they need to. They'll come to me with challenges. I really try and teach and allow them to have that leader model so that my PMs and the team can make their own choices. They can actually, feel comfortable in making their own choices. I trust what they do. I have very experienced property managers within the team, so I trust that they're always going to make the right decision. I'm just there for either a voice if they need. They do know that if we have to have a firm conversation, it's probably serious because I don't have them very often. I don't think a lot of people like to have them. So if we need to have them, we can. But it's kind of more allowing the team to do what they need to do and hiring the people who are good at what they do to allow them to do that role. Yeah,
very good. What's something people misunderstand about the property management profession, do you think?
Probably on how much we do actually have to know. I think, like going back to what I was saying before, we've got all those legislation changes and things like that. We had to learn the additional 130 plus, and now we've got more and more. I think people don't realise how much there is actually to learn on the back end of property management. I think people...
There's nothing more detail orientated than property management, is there?
We are very detailed people. We love a list. I wrote it all out. I thought about today, we love that kind of thing. I think you have to be very organised to be a property manager. You have to love ticking things off, all that kind of thing. But yes, I don't think people realise how much needs to go in the back end. Also too, as your property manager, we're just here to advise people of their rights. We tell the clients their rights, both rental providers or renters. We work on people's instructions. I think people forget that as well. That your property manager is also a human and they don't own the property. They can only advise.
You're telling them what to do, but here's the consequences if you don't.
Correct.
And that type of thing. So,
yes. We don't unfortunately always get to make the decision, which is also where then I guess that trust and that build with the clients comes in with your relationships, because then they're more confident with you to have those conversations or to make those decisions. But yes, your property manager is there to advise, tell you what you need to do under the legislation, and then it's up to you on what you want to do with it. So I think people don't realise your property manager, especially on the renter side, you're not making that decision. You're not the decision maker when it comes to it.
And as a renter provider, the fines that they're not getting smaller, are they?
They are not getting smaller, no.
So it's in their best interest.
Definitely, yes. They're about $11,000 now, I think, the fines. So yes, especially if they're not meeting the minimum standards. Your gas, electrical, smoke alarm checks, things like that.
What's the cut-off to change from gas to electric?
So you are gas and electric. So the changes are happening in 2027. It's when an appliance dies. So at this stage, and look, the government could change the legislation
so
around
it. The goalpost.
It does change. But
so
your heating and correct, which will be great for rental providers. I think it's March 2027. It's not everybody from gas electric. It's going to be a slow transition across when your appliance dies or you have a changeover in tenancy. Correct,
good. In terms of lifestyle, how's your lifestyle in Mornington influence the way you work and connect with clients down here?
I guess it's massive. I am a Mornington girl through and through. I love it down here. I went to
Grew up here as well?
Yeah, I went to Vale Street Primary School. I went to Mount Eliza Secondary College. All my employment has been around here. I absolutely love it. My family is still around here. I've invested in Mornington myself. I think it's a perfect place to invest. You can't go wrong. Who can go wrong at the end of the beach? It's lovely. I really do love it here. Awesome. We're heavily involved in the community in regards to sponsoring the Mornington Football Netball Club. We sponsor the local bowls clubs and things like that as well. So making sure that we are heavily involved in those communities.
That's good. And you guys are active as well. It's not just you're not just handing money over, are you?
Yes, we go to the sponsors' days and everything, anything they need for the Mornington Football Netball Club. We actually print off if they're playing locally, they have their little booklets that they give out and that. We make sure we print them for them. So anything that the clubs need, we're here to support them. We're not just supporting them financially. So we're heavily involved with those.
Awesome.
Kane's been sponsoring the footy club and I think the two bowls clubs for 20 plus years now. So yes, for a very long time.
Yeah, that builds a lot of trust and relationships and
definitely
goodwill, doesn't it?
Yes.
So we've spoken about this and I've seen you on Instagram. You're at the gym before the sun comes up. You're obviously doing your coastal runs. Where does that level of discipline come from? Because you're very, you're pretty black and white, like whatever it might be that you're attacking at the time.
I am very black and white. There's no grey in my life.
Where does that come from?
So when, I guess, it mainly came from me pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So I went through a situation where I was left in COVID by myself. I had 2 years of lockdown by myself, and I was at that stage about 60 kilos heavier. So at my heaviest, I stopped weighing myself at 120 something kilos.
Really? Wow.
Yes. And I thought to myself, that is either the life I'm going to have or I'm going to make changes. So I started walking my little dog every day. I have a Chihuahua Jack Russell. I'm surprised their little legs didn't fall off.
Yeah.
Every day we had our 2-hour break.
60 kilos.
Yes, we walked. We walked every day for 2 days.
Wow.
I walked from Main Street down to Craigie Road in Mount Martha and back.
Yeah.
It's about a 10k block. When I first started, it took me over the 2 hours. But I think my biggest motivation is I never want to let myself get to that person again. I'm so happy about how far I have come as a person.
Wow.
But yeah, that's probably my biggest motivation is I'm so happy with and healthy now.
Yep.
It's not just physical for me, it is now my mental strength as well. If I don't train every day, I'm not my best person. People think it's mad that I'm at the gym at I leave the house at 4:45 every morning, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't turn up best for my partner, for my family, for my work, for my team, everything for my clients if I don't go in the morning, because yes, I'm a big believer in that healthy lifestyle. It's a healthy mindset.
It's
as
amazing.
Well.
That's probably the most inspiring thing already that's come out of this. But I think for our listeners, I think anything can be done.
Yes.
And that's amazing. So,
Thank you.
Those early mornings and healthy routines, obviously we've spoken a bit about that, how it's shaped your mindset. It obviously flows through to your workday as well, I would assume.
Yeah, definitely. As I was saying before, if I don't have that gym in the morning, even on the weekends, like if I'm not feeling 100% right, I'll just go for a quick run and things like that. So I only started running this year. We're 5Ks in, so that's a big win for me so far. I couldn't even run to the end of the street at the start of the year. So yeah, just making sure I go out and do that kind of thing. I don't have many other outlets because work does take up a lot of my life. So yeah, making sure that if I need to, I will get out, I'll go for a run. If it's been a big day at work, I'll go to the gym. I might even take myself out for half an hour just to get out of the office and go there for a little bit, just to clear the head, so that I can show up to the best I am for my team. Yeah,
good. I mean, if 4 a.m. wake ups, do you find you have that kind of 3 p.m. kind of slow down? And how do you kind of pep yourself up?
It's not too bad. I do love a crispy Coke no sugar. You'll probably catch me with one of those in the afternoon. That's my little pick me up. That's my treat. But I am crashed out by 7:38. So then I am that, I guess, other side of the coin.
You do need sleep, don't you?
Yes, sleep is also a very important part of my life. So that, yes, if I'm getting up at those times, I do need to get my sleep because I'm grumpy as anything if I don't. So
no, fair enough. That makes sense. You're speaking about investing in Mornington and with your family, and how's your family kind of supported and helped you, and probably how have you helped them? Yeah,
certainly. So I guess family's massive for me. So I have a sister and obviously my mum and dad. A lot of what I have learned in my career and my work ethic has come from them. I have parents that when we were younger were not very well off, so they worked very hard. They owned their own businesses. They had businesses here in Mornington, so they're very hard workers themselves. I bought my first investment property with my sister when I was 18 and she was 21. That was something Dad, I guess, entrenched into our minds at a young age, is before you move out of home, you're buying a house. And we both came together and said, well, we want to move out of home, but we can't do it on our own. So we did one together. Did you move into it or rent it out? We rented it out. Nice. So my sister went and rented somewhere else with a partner at that time. And we just had it as an investment. We just had it sitting there as an investment. Perfect. And then in 2009, I think it was, I then purchased my first property from that. And then since then, I've bought another investment property, and then I'm now in the property with my partner that we've bought. We settled about 2 months ago. Fantastic. Which is a big renovation project for us, which we're super excited about. It's got development plans and everything like that. So we're taking that next step. I've been very fortunate to have my parents who are both trades, so they help with anything we need. They're fantastic. Makes a difference. It certainly does. if you ask me, I renovated my last 2 units. If you ask my mum and dad, I was in America sending them photos of what I liked, and they renovated it.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
They're amazing. I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah. What advice would you give someone just starting out in property management today?
Probably just to be organised. And
you're probably talking to Imogen about this right now.
Yeah, like Imogen's in the room with us. So.
Exactly.
I would probably just say be very organised, take on as much information as you can, and really, yes, just start creating those connections. Like if we go by experience of this week with Imogen working with me, we're already starting those connections with clients. She's making calls to them. We've got an investor night coming up, so she's already getting on the phone with the clients, so she can start building her own relationships with them. So yes, learning as much as you can and just be as organised as you can as well. Property management is such an organised thing, just making sure you're nice and organised.
I don't think it's for everyone. Like everyone's profile's different.
Yes.
It's not that you pigeonhole people, but there's a lot to it. And if you're not in the detail, you're not going to win. You're just going to sink. If it's not rental arrears or, all the maintenance. Once you get behind on that stuff, you're gone.
It's so hard it is hard to catch up. And I do think you are one or the other. You're a sales agent or you are a property manager.
Correct, yeah.
I have dabbled a little bit in sales when I've had multiple clients saying, would you sell it? Like, would love for you to sell it. And I say to them, no worries, but Kane's got to do it with me.
I still think you'd be good in sales, but that's,
I got the gift of the gab. I
you
can
do,
talk.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
But yes, I think it's just different on how your clients are and things like that as well, I guess. Sales agents, they do have those long-term clients. Obviously, people are listing and selling and that, but we as property managers are really technically in a relationship with our clients. We love them like they're there day to day with you.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's a good answer. You kind of touched on this, but some of the biggest changes that you've seen in property management or the landscape over the last decade, what would you say to that? I mean, there's some obvious stuff, but...
Yeah, obvious is your legislation and things like that. That has changed so much. Like we even used to, when someone wanted to have a look through the property, you'd give them the keys and they'd give you $50 and you'd say, okay, enjoy kind of thing. Like it's completely changed. But also the technology.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yes, when I started in property management, we had the triplicate forms when we were doing condition reports and you're writing them down and yes, you're kind of doing all of that. Then it was all fancy when you got digital cameras and you were doing it with a digital camera. And then now literally you're going to a property and you have a camera that sits in the middle of the room, a Matterport camera that does a circle and does it for you. So yes, technology has come so far, especially in the property management industry, the way you manage properties, all that kind of stuff. It's definitely something to...
Definitely. But I think it's still a people business and I think you still got those touch points, don't you, as well?
Correct, yes. It just makes it, I guess, the more technical things easier. The biggest thing, like I was saying before, in property management is your clients and those relationships, but it makes your technical side a lot easier on how the technology has advanced.
Yeah, definitely. So, I think we've already spoken on this a bit, but how do you and your team stay ahead of the rising expectations, certainly around evolving legislation? It just keeps coming, but you seem to be all across it because you know what's coming in 2027, you mentioned before, but how do you get that out to the team? How do you do that?
I think communicating it throughout the team. So we have our weekly meetings and then we have monthly one-on-ones as well. But your weekly meetings, we go through what's happening in the industry, where we're sitting in the local market, knowing your market share, all that kind of stuff. So making sure you're very transparent with your team, knowing where the business sits, all that kind of stuff, I think is very important. But then that also transitions easily out to your clients. So if your team is well informed, your clients are then well informed because they know what they're talking about. It makes it a lot easier for them to have those conversations as well.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. In terms of what's been one of your proudest moments in your career so far, would you say?
Probably the proudest moment I have is last year our property management team was nominated as one of the top 10 or one of the finalists for the Real Estate Business Awards for small offices. So even though we're a small office, we're definitely mighty. But since we'd gone through all the change and I had been their team leader for the last 12 to 18 months, then achieving that as well was something I was very proud of the team on how far that we have actually come and what a good job they actually do. They do a fantastic job.
Definitely an accolade. Now, did you guys win that in the end or?
No, we didn't, unfortunately.
You've still been nominated, doesn't matter.
still being nominated
Yeah.
is something, so considering it's across Australia, I'm very proud of our team. It's,
No, definitely.
been
And
amazing.
you strike me as a student of real estate as well. Like, you're always in South Melbourne, which is like, 100 kilometres from here.
We're always a corporate.
You're always a corporate. So you're always there attending, the different types of training and trying to stay ahead of it. So,
Yes.
which is really part of being a good leader, is to be able to bring all that information back, isn't it?
Yes, and look, I think that's where it is so important how lucky we are actually to be a part of an industry or a company like O'Brien, is because the support and the training we get is fantastic. Yes, we joke that I'm probably there once a week. However, I'm there because I'm doing leadership training, I'm doing property management training, you're doing the BDM stuff, you're doing commercial.
Yep.
So it's those things. Unfortunately, I wear so many hats that I have to come quite a bit. But
we love
you're allowing us to grow and actually learn and things like that. So we're very fortunate to have that as well. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. That's really good. And what about for you, Lucy? Like, who inspires you, either in or out of the industry? Like, where do you get your...
I think out of the industry would be my parents, their work ethic and how hard they strive and where they have come in their lives, I think is a massive inspiration for me. But internally and work-wise, I probably couldn't just say one person, but I'm very fortunate. I do work alongside some great BDMs, some great other team leaders, some great other directors who are there no matter what you need. Like, if I have a question, I can call and ask. I'm on the phone talking to the other officers all the time. So I think the way they manage their teams and run their departments and do their BDM and things like that is something that I really get a lot of inspiration from. And I'm very fortunate that they're so happy just to pick up the phone and have a chat, and everyone's happy to help each other
Definitely.
out.
And I think your team would know they could call you any time.
Yes.
And you're there for them. And I think that's really important. So good on you for doing that. I think, look, finally, one last question, I suppose, looking into the future and in terms of goals, whether it be professional or personal, what are some things, or a couple of goals that you're kind of really focused on in the next 12, 24 months?
Yeah, look, Kane and I are into some discussions at the moment with some different things. I guess my next biggest goal is just to focus on our growth. I'll be stepping out of the residential portfolio with Imogen taking that one over. And then we're really pushing growth. So we're wanting to grow our portfolio. Personal-wise, it'll just be my renovations. Continuing those. There's some big goals. They're more of a 5-year plan to do our subdivide and actually renovate and everything like that. But yes, if I'm not in the office at the moment, I'm with a paintbrush in my hand. It's kind of where it's at.
Doing a lot of it yourself
it's all,
as well.
it's all of that. We decided with this renovation, we do want to do a lot of it ourselves. Just to practice. We're both, I guess you'd call us both paper pushers. My partner's in finance and obviously I'm in real estate. So we really just want to give it a red hot go and see how we go with it.
No, look, definitely. Look, again, like, your energy, it's infectious. You're a very impressive human being. So thank you for being on the podcast, Lucy, and I'm sure we'll do many more in the future.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Lucy.
Thanks.
Nice. Awesome.
All good.